All right, I'll call the Crow Wing County Board of Commissioners regular meeting for December 30th, 2025 to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First of all, thank you for your patience. We'll try to speak loud so everybody can hear us. Amber, if you'll call the roll call, please.
Commissioner Coring,
Here.
Commissioner Lubke,
Here.
Commissioner Barros,
Here.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee.
Number 2 on our agenda is the open forum. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on a matter other than what's on our printed agenda? Anyone that would like to speak during open forum? Last call. Thank you. We'll move on to number 3, to review and approve the minutes from December 16th, 2025. Motion by Commissioner Franzine. Second by Commissioner Lee. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Barros.
Aye. That motion passes. We'll move on to number 4, review and today's agenda. Any additions, corrections?
Mr. Chair, we're going to pull item 7.1 from today's agenda.
Approved with corrections.
Motion by Commissioner Franzine. Second by Lupke. Second by Commissioner Lupke. Roll call.
Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Barros.
Aye. That motion passes. Number 5 is our consent agenda. Motion by Commissioner Lee to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Franzine. Roll call.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Barros.
Aye, and that motion passes. Item number 6, 6.1 is the establishment of the 2026 Crow Wing County absentee ballot board. George, speak up.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. You stated 6.1 is for the establishment of the Crow Wing County absentee ballot board. In front of you, you'll have a resolution just complying with Minnesota Statute 203B.121 subdivision 1, as the county board has the authority to establish the absentee ballot board. And what we're asking for is the role of the board is to bring uniformity to the processing of accepting and rejecting returned absentee ballots to Crow Wing County. And we have a list of election officials and deputy auditors in the Administrative Services Director office that would be used as ballot board members, and we're asking for approval of a resolution to that ballot board for the process of absentee ballots.
Any questions or concerns for Jory? Motion by Commissioner Franzine, second by Commissioner Lubke. Roll call.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Barros.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you, Jory. 6.2.
Mr. Chair and Commissioners, under Minnesota Statute 204C.31 subdivision 1, you are to establish a canvass board to canvass the results of the elections in 2026. Currently, at this time, we have the primary election and the general election. As of now, no special elections. So we need 2 men who are not on the ballot in 2026, which leaves us with Commissioner Lee and Commissioner Coring to serve as canvass board members. You guys, the board will appoint members to this canvass board, so it makes your decision fairly easy to take.
So is this my appointees, or we vote on that?
It's a board vote.
So the board vote.
Motion to appoint Commissioner Lee and Commissioner Coring.
Commissioner Franzine makes the motion to approve.
And I will second that motion.
Commissioner Lutke seconds that motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Barros.
Aye. And that motion passes.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. Real quickly, is everybody able to hear? If you can't hear, just now let me know and we'll try to talk louder. So, all right. Thank you. We'll move on to number 8, land services. Morning, Chris. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. We have 5 items for your consideration this morning. The first request is for a land use map amendment for parcel number 7120566 located in section 12 of the Northfield Lake Township. The request is to amend the land use map from rural residential 5 to rural residential 2.5 involving approximately 34 acres. And looks like we might have able to get our packet up. If I don't, are you able to see your packet at yours?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
I'm well.
If you would scroll down to page 109 of your packet.
Which one?
We go to 109. Yeah, that's actually, let's do the ones, let's go to 110 first. That'll help. So this is the location of the request. This is in North Lake Township, and right, we've got the parcel sitting right here and is currently zoned. The blue, just for to understand the colors on the map, the areas that are in blue are rural residential 5. The area that you see here, this boundary, this lighter blue is the shoreline district. The area that you see here in yellow is the rural residential 2.5. The area that's in green would be our agricultural forestry. This brown would be the rural residential 10. And this hashed here would be tax forfeited land. And so if we can go back now to 10, yep, go here, zoom in. So you see we got Nokia Lake Road here. This is the parcel that they're requesting to rezone from R5 to down to 2.5 zoning. We did get a comment from the township on this. They were not in support of the request. But the planning commission did hold a public hearing on this on December 18th and made a unanimous recommendation to the board to approve the land use map amendment for parcel 7812-0566 from rural residential 5 to rural residential 2.5 involving approximately 34 acres. The planning commission board of adjustment developed a finding of fact for you found on pages 115 to 116 for your consideration. Based on the application submitted, staff packet, public comments, and the finding of fact is recommended by the Planning Commission Board of Adjustment to approve the land use map amendment as submitted. We have to answer any questions.
Questions for Commissioner Lee?
Chris, the township, you said was not in favor. Did they give a reason why they can't do it?
Yeah, they were, they felt that the density in that area was too much. They were concerned about if they planned the property, what would that look like? And so there were just some concerns about those are the basic concerns that the township had. We're just kind of the unknowns about what might happen to the property if it were to change from rural residential 5 to 2.5.
Commissioner Lutke.
Is there a copy of that letter in this packet of the
I
township? I don't see the copy of it in there.
don't know if I have that with me today either. So they did, it was something that they did send in before the meeting, so the planning commission was aware of
But the planning commission didn't see the letter?
they did. Yep,
They did see the letter?
they did. Yep, they did.
Okay, so it should be in our packet, correct?
It sure should be.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
but it might not have made it, so apologize for that. The letter was received on December 16th in our office.
So
Any other questions? Commissioner Coring, anything?
Mr. Chairman, no questions from me. Thank you.
Recommendation is to support. Look for a motion. Commissioner Lee makes a motion to support. Second by Commissioner Franzen. Roll call.
Commissioner Franzen, Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Barros.
Aye. The motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
8.2.
The next request is for a land use map amendment for parcel number 99260606 located in section 26 of First Assessment, Unorganized Township. The request is to amend the land use map from rural residential 1 and shoreline district to commercial involving approximately 2.26 acres. We go to the map on page 121. There you go. So here's the parcel in question is the triangle here, just for, to identify kind of where we're at. Wise Road here, you've got County Road 20 or Riverside to the west, and you got County Road 3 here, comes up on the east side. The colors, just for everybody as a reminder again, the area that's in blue is the shoreline district. The area that's in brown is our rural residential 1. This area up here, this kind of this pinkish color is our commercial. It's off over in this direction, our rural residential 1. As a reminder again, the areas that have added color would be the tax forfeited land. Mr. Chair, I'd like to share some history on this file with the board. An application to change the zoning of this property from residential to commercial 2, which included an auto body repair business, was denied by the county board on March 22nd of 1983.
When was that?
March 22nd of 1983.
Yeah, we can't hear
Okay.
Like this.
So Mike, your mic isn't working at all. All on you. Your mic not working.
Oh, I didn't know how it was going. Okay. Okay. I'll start over from, I'll start with just going back to what I just mentioned. So there is some history on this file that I would like to share. An application to change the zoning on this property from residential to commercial 2 to include an auto body repair business was denied by the county board on March 22nd of 1983. And then another application to change zoning from residential to commercial 1 was denied by the county board on January 6th of 1998. So there've been two requests in the past to change the zoning from a residential classification to a classification. Both have been denied by the board. The Planning Commission did hold a public hearing on December 18th and a 3-to-1 recommendation to the board to approve the land use map amendment for the parcel 992606 from rural residential 1 in shoreland to commercial involving approximately 2.26 acres. The dissenting commission member did not.
You're starting to go down. Pretend like you're yelling at me, okay?
I'll do my best.
Use your outside voice.
Yeah.
The dissenting commission member did not feel that the land use map amendment aligned with the current county comprehensive plan that was adopted by the board in August of 2024. The Planning Commission did provide finding of fact on pages 126 to 127 of the packet, based on the application submitted and packet and the information. It is recommended by the Planning Commission to approve the land use map amendment on a 3-to-1 vote. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
Commissioner Lupker, do you have was there any public comment at your?
There was none.
There was nobody here, or there was no public comment?
Nobody attended.
Weren't there letters that aren't in the
We'll get to you
packet?
in a minute.
We did mail notice. The letters were sent out according to statute and ordinance. So we did mail out the notice, and it's also published in the paper. And so I understand that, sometimes the mail sometimes doesn't get where it needs to get, sometimes as quickly as we hope. And I know there was some questions about why was an application submitted at this time frame, with it being around the holidays this time of year. We accept applications on a monthly basis for different requests, including, land use map amendments, variances, conditional use permits, and so provided they can meet the deadline to apply, and then we have our meeting is the third Thursday of every month in this room here, starting at 3 p.m. And so that would have been on December 18th. And so it's at the applicant's discretion as to when they choose to apply or when they choose, to not apply for any of their requests that they can ask for.
Okay, before we,
Chairman?
Commissioner, I thought I would go to public comments first. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so before we go on, I'm going to ask anyone who would like to speak to come up and speak at the microphone for 3 minutes on anything that a previous speaker hasn't said to us. So I don't want repetition and we'll be here for hours of that, but if you have something unique, we would like to hear it. I will first start as the developer here. Nobody here, and I'll start with you. If you'll state your name and your address. Talk loud, because the microphone is loud.
Matt Peterson, address is 10613 Gilbert Shores Drive, which is right over by that. I'm representing also some property owners in my neighborhood. I wanted to point out, first of all, that several of us sent in emails regarding this to the zoning department for that meeting. We weren't able to attend. We were in disagreement with them passing it. And we're still in disagreement with it being passed for the following reasons. As you can see, it's very close to Lake Gilbert there. That is a water runoff area. The ditch that runs along Riverside in front of that property runs along Wise Road and drains water from that area all the way down into Lake Gilbert. Secondly, as he's pointed out, County Road 3 runs along parallel to Riverside Drive. That is getting to be a busy road, and there's a lot of lights come down there. Now, if you thought about putting any trees in between these two properties in that area there, that would be great. If you take out the trees that are there, that's green space that's wasted. It hasn't been used in over, I believe it's been since the 90s, sometime when the house was burnt down. So I've lived at my address for 26 years, and it's always been a nice green space. One thing we could use is more. So in that respect, we don't see any benefit to having a commercial lot built there. And I would kind of recommend that, if anything, the county board think about purchasing the property and keeping it a green space and adding more trees in between.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just a quick question. Were those emails sent before the meeting?
So anytime we get comments about the application, if we receive them a week before the meeting or more, we include them in the packet. If they come after the week, so we put the packet up on the website 1 week before the meeting. Any emails that we get after, as far as comments, those emails are provided to the planning commission every day they come in. So at the end of the day, we send out whatever comments we get in. And so those are forwarded on to the planning commission and to the applicant.
We don't have any of them in here. Okay, that was just a question. I didn't see any of them here.
And Chris, at the meeting, I believe it was said that there were 5 letters that were sent in.
I believe that's what that was. Yep.
All right, anyone else who would like to speak? Mr. Knudsen. Name and address, please.
Good morning, Jim and Sue Knudsen, 17453 Rivers Trail. It's down at the end of Ivicher Road. I hope you all didn't have any coal in your stocking last week. First, this application is spot zoning. I've been a commercial and residential real estate broker for over 32 years, now retired. And most of my sales have been manufactured and unorganized territory. So I speak from knowledge. This is spot zoning. It's the worst kind of zoning, as it benefits one person to the disadvantage of the many. You can Google that definition. There's no mention in this application or questions from the planning commission of any environmental concerns. This is not served, this area, by city water or sewer or storm sewer. The impervious surface square footage of any commercial project will be huge. This runoff will have to go somewhere. Is an EAW, environmental assessment worksheet, may be required. Where is the need for this zoning? Nobody that I've talked to has any additional needs to continue living comfortably in unorganized territory. We've all enjoyed this area without the intrusion of commercial businesses. This is what has attracted most of us to this area. Our 1997 original comprehensive plan for unorganized territory said no commercial zoning along County Road 3 and Wise Road. I served on that committee. If the county approves this rezoning and in 2 or 3 years, the wheels at the highway department start turning, a roundabout is now forecasted for that corner. The county taxpayers will then have to pay commercial land value to the property owner for the right of way that'll be required for that roundabout. If it remains residential, the county saves a lot of money for that same land. We've lived in the unorganized territory since 1991. And my personal opinion, in contrast to the developer, there is another highest and best use, not just commercial. That would be residential rental. A duplex or a triplex would fit comfortably into that property, would take a septic and a well and not have an intrusion on all the residents in the neighborhood. Finally, any commercial project would give off light pollution to nearby homes. It would have sound pollution with large vehicles coming and going at all hours. When it's dark out, headlights from vehicles would be flashing back and forth into the nearby homes. It would also most likely require left turn lane in from the north and right turn lane from the south at some point in time. None of this is compatible with the surrounding homes, families, and residents of the unorganized territory. I had a quick review of the application and I disagree with staff, whom I respect briefly. The application asks the question, will the reclassification be detrimental to use or property in the immediate vicinity? And the answer was no.
3 minutes are up.
The answer to that is yes.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Amy Nutland. I live on 10573 Gilbert Shores Drive. And then I just want to, because about hearing, I do believe it was stated that nobody attended the December 18th meeting. I don't think anybody did in person. However, our neighbors who were on their honeymoon, they did communicate via team or.
We have one on Teams, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, so good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for my opportunity. I oppose the rezoning of property from residential to commercial. There are simply too many unknowns. Roundabouts planned in 2029, and the unknown portion of this property will be used for that construction. Until the construction is complete, I think any decision about commercial zoning based on assumptions and not real data. This property is tucked between Gilbert Lake. Commercial development here would cause negative environmental impacts. In addition, commercial traffic would route, most likely reroute on Riverside Drive, creating congestion, safety hazards for families in a residential area. Approving this now could worsen the traffic and safety issues that haven't been fully studied. The timing also raises concerns. The property that's undeveloped since 1998, and this request appears financially motivated rather than community driven. Zoning decisions should not allow long-term planning, or should follow long-term planning, not speculation. I respectfully ask the board to vote no until the roundabout is complete and its impacts are clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Name and address, please.
Hello, I'm Matt Carlgard, 16236 Birchwood Lane on Gilbert Lake. I have here a page that I would like to give you guys to look at, if you want that. It's page 5 from the Gilbert Lake Implementation Plan. In 22-23, Aiken, Crow Wing, Morrison, and Todd counties partner developed a one watershed, one plan for the Mississippi River Brainerd watershed, which this falls within. I think the key thing here, and the reason I'm sharing that map, is that this parcel is within the immediate drainage area around Gilbert Lake, seeing that the runoff would run into the lake. And I'm not gonna restate the previous points, but rezoning this parcel would allow for a gas station, which seems like the most likely use in this location. This would cause significant petroleum and sulfide runoff. The lake already has high sulfide levels. And in fact, in this Gilbert Lake implementation plan, the goal is to enhance the water quality of Gilbert Lake because it's an at-risk lake. So this would not only increase those sulfide levels, but it would also add an increased petroleum runoff into the lake. So I'm wondering, it sounds like there hasn't been an environmental review. Would that be part of this process? Should that be part of this process? In my opinion, it seems like it's a hasty decision to allow this to be commercially rezoned without a significant environmental review. So I'm urging you to vote no on this rezoning. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone next?
Paula Persons and Mark Persons, we live at 10032 Island Drive. We own two pieces of property on Gilbert Lake. We're looking at this. We would ask you to vote no on this. I think you understand the environmental impact of it. There is also a small piece, a small pond that nobody's mentioned from Gilbert Lake, across the road from Gilbert Lake. And I'm wondering if that's within 200 feet, which is something for shoreland. We have to look at the environmental impact. Another thing that hasn't been brought up, I don't know, it's in the city of Brainerd. I had mentioned in the emails that I sent to everyone that it was the city is considering taking a park out of Brainerd that I thought was part of across from the old paper mill. And actually it's Gustafson Park they're looking at turning that into residential rather than commercial. Now, this is 2.2 miles away. It's already residential. Why would you take residential away from and turn it into commercial and then turn around 2 miles away and change it the other way around? Yes, you have the city of Brainerd and you have the unorganized territory, but let's work together and look to the future. So I would ask you to look at the environmental impact, look at what they're doing to the neighborhood, listen to your constituents and vote no on this.
Thank you. Before I go on with this audience, I want to see if there's anybody online who would like to speak.
We have a live Teams feed. I do have a number of people on there.
Nobody's asking to speak.
Not that I am able to see, no.
Okay, we'll go back to this audience. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Mark?
Hello. My name is Mark Hagstrom. And I live at 16112 Birchwood Lane. That's on Gilbert Lake as well. I read a great article in the paper that Chris Pence talked to you folks about shoreland development. And we're concerned about our waters. Well, this is shoreland, according to your map here. And so why would we change shoreland to commercial? Will they be held to the same stringent regulations regarding dirt moving and impervious surfaces and the like? So it seems to me quite a stretch to move something from shoreland to residential. I'll also add that this was proposed before, and I believe it was 2002. It came up at the Gilbert Lake Association meeting, and unanimously, the Gilbert Lake Association voted against this. Our meeting is coming up this spring. I can guarantee you it will be another unanimous vote against this. Thank you.
What else wants to speak up? I was going to try to. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. My name is Bob Brown.
Remember, Bob, to yell at me. It's the only chance to get. Just lay it on.
Yeah, my name is Bob Brown. I live on the west side of Gilbert Lake. I moved there in 1986. Prior to coming here, I went to the DNR and tried to see, I wanted to live on a lake. I said, where should I live? I met Tim Vastra from the Fisheries Department. And Tim said, you want to live on Gilbert Lake? I said, why? It's a gem. The clearest lake in the area, in the Brainerd Lakes area. Anyway, I bought a house west side of the lake, and that summer, in order to protect that gem, I started the Lake Association. Since that time, a lot of things have changed. Then, because of the location of Gilbert Lake, it seems like it's always under assault. We've had many, many issues. We've been here many times throughout the years. Wise Road was reconstructed a number of years ago. When the road was reconstructed, there was a deep ditch placed on the east side of the road that drains directly down to a beehive and to a culvert that drains directly into the lake. It's kind of like the drain in your sink. Well, that seemed pretty benign, but at that time there were farm fields north of Wise Road and tremendous amount of water. I took videos of it years ago. You could not stand in front of that culvert in the spring. It would have blown you away. That's how much water comes in the lake. And the phosphorus levels were over 1,000, which was tremendously high. And that was a concern at the time. We addressed the board at that time. A lot of things have changed. Riverside Drive was also reconstructed. And I think the county did a tremendous job on that, and that turned out really well. Some things don't change though. One thing that doesn't change is that periodically that small piece of land always comes up to be rezoned commercial. Why is that a problem for the lake? Well, it's a problem for the lake is because that creates, and people have said, tremendous amount of impervious surface area. There's nowhere the water can go except in that ditch, down to that beehive culvert, directly into the lake. If you think about it, is that going to be good for the lake? Well, it can't be. And if they make, no matter what you make there, at one time somebody was going to make a house there. And we came here and we were for that. We thought, oh, that'll solve the problem. We'll just have one house. The lake can absorb that runoff. The runoff from a commercial property is entirely different. Think of the fuel that could come to that lake, the runoff, the fossil fuels. Oil and water don't mix. That's a huge problem for us. That's it. I know I'm playing with that time. That's a gem. We need to protect that gem. We don't want to lose it.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I am actually the property owner. I didn't hear you asked earlier, the property owner was here.
You're welcome to come up and speak.
I'm Mike Garvig, 4650 Hemlock Lane, Pequot Lakes. I've owned the property for about 27 years, and I guess when I first bought it, it was had a burned down house on it, and part of our agreement at the time was previous owner would clean it up and bring it back to grade, because I didn't want it looking like that. Currently it's zoned residential. It's sitting on the highest traffic county road in the county, is my understanding. It's one of two major intersections. The other one is north of Merrifield, where the new roundabout was put in. Majority of, you can't really see on here, but my understanding is majority of the highway frontage on 3 from Weiss Road up through north of Merrifield has been zoned commercial. And there is a lot of commercial activity along that area. And, we've looked at it. It just doesn't make sense to have residential where we're at. It's surrounded up on all sides by county roads. And, you know, I've sat on it for a lot of years trying to think what's the best use. Had other projects going on. We built the American Lodge and Suites in Jenkins. I've got a townhome development south of Pequot on Highway 371. We'd like to see something go there that fit the area, but there's no definite plans at this point, looking at maybe partners or whatever, but we just learned in October, probably like everybody else, that there's a roundabout going in there, so we're kind of just sitting tight and working. The counties met with us on it, trying to determine how that's going to be designed. We think with the slower traffic, with a roundabout, it's a safer intersection and safer for development there. But we don't have any definite plans. It's probably out several years now with the roundabout construction, and we'd like to just request it be rezoned because we don't feel it can be used safely as residential, and I don't think anybody would want a house sitting in between three county roads there, with one of them being the highest traffic roads in the county.
That's your 3 minutes.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, Don Ryan, I live at 16146 Birchwood Lane in unorganized territory. Feels really weird to be on this side of the table, like I said. Couple of things. I don't know that residential is the best use for that property either, but if it is, we have a lack of affordable housing in Crown County already. Another part, Commissioner Francine, if you remember, about 5 years ago, I think it was, you approved buying the Nature Conservation, buying the Don Sandberg property, so that then the DNR would buy it from them. So we prevented development along the channel going from Gilbert 2 to Gilbert 3. So it's this continuing to improve and maintain Gilbert Lake is not a new concept for this board. You're well into that. And I'm not dissing staff at all. It's not an issue for today, but when something comes up on watershed like this, and I counseled you on this when I was the county attorney, you need more than just the statutory notice. You got to at least let the Lake Association know, not legally, but I think just to be fair, you need more people to know about it, particularly at that time of the year, so that, as you can see, there's a lot of people opposed. But if you don't know, I didn't find out about this till Friday, or I would have been at that time commission meeting. So that's not an issue for today, but I just thought I should raise that. There are 2 other gas stations and convenience stores. One just before the bridge and one just at Merrifield. The need is not there for commercial development. Plus, when that roundabout goes in, it's just not Wise Road, Riverside Drive, and County 3. You go just up a little bit, and there's another road that comes right in there that roundabout's getting impact just before the Memorial Cemetery. You go just a little south of Wise Road, there's a residential private road that goes back into development from there. You have no place to go. These houses are right on county roads. This is the only piece of land you're going to be able to go into. I don't know what the highway right of way is, but I've walked that piece of property before. It's not very big anyway. If you take half of it, there's no way you're going to build anything on it. Highest and best use, in my opinion, the county to require this, maintain it for additional road work in the future, and then put a berm or something on the far south end of it to prevent any runoff going that way. Or maybe all the runoff will go into a holding cell there, which will prevent water from going into Gilbert Lake. Consider what we tried to do before. It's hard when you do 1 hour closing arguments to get this in 3 minutes. And consistent with all of the comp plans, I'm not trying to repeat Commissioner Barrows, there's a reason it was denied twice before. There was decades and decades of work to how do we develop unorganized territory. That even goes to when we won't take roads over because they're not wide enough, because we weren't thinking about that back in the days. We have to think forward, not what there's one, and no disrespect, Mr. Rocco. He's bought property, he's a developer, he wants to develop, right? I still think the town should buy this. 20 years ago or whatever it was, the last time it was denied, I thought the conversation was that we were going to acquire that for maintaining for road purposes. We didn't, and I apologize.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair.
All right, I'm gonna bring it back up to the board. Commissioner Lupke and then
I had a
Commissioner
question
Coring.
for Chris.
So, your question.
When we have these things come in front of us, Chris, it would really also be nice to make sure that we have all the documentation in these packets. Because we have to make our decision. We aren't always next door neighbors to them, and we have to make these decisions sometimes based upon the information. I did listen to the whole Planning Commission Board of Adjustment meeting. I listened to that, and I heard the family there that was on their honeymoon and calling in. So it was kind of unusual that nothing else was in this packet. So I would appreciate if that would be done more diligently and have it in there for us when we make our decisions. We have all the facts. Thank you.
So Commissioner Coring, I apologize, but Commissioner Franzine would like to speak first in the 3rd district, so I'm going to allow that.
I would really like to say that I have never had this many people get a hold of me about something. I had emails, I had phone calls, I even had texts. And I would really like to thank everyone for being so kind. I mean, nobody said, you have to do this. And, you know, they've allowed me to make my own decision, but gave reasons why I should make the decision I'm going to make. We revised the comp plan and it was approved in August of 24. The future land use map was approved as part of the plan. There was no plan for commercial zoning in this area. This property is classified as rural residential 1, and it is surrounded by rural residential 1. Due to the fact that there is no commercial land close to this parcel, this would be considered spot zoning. The property is in the Shoreland district. This property drains into Gilbert Lake. Contaminants from a gas station, and a gas station was mentioned at the planning and zoning meeting, so that's where I got that from. The contaminants from a gas station would quickly travel into Gilbert Lake. There's a direct correlation between water quality and land value. So allowing more contaminants into Gilbert Lake could depreciate the properties on the land. There are concerns about traffic generation and access to the property and the roundabout. And I'll let the others people speak before I make my motion.
Commissioner Coring?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry to say that Jim Knutson stole all my thunder. So I will be voting, just to let the county board know, I will be voting no on this. I think, Chris, you've got some findings of fact here. We just spent thousands and thousands of dollars on a comprehensive plan. We didn't change this to commercial. I look back at the county boards of 1983 and 1998 denying a commercial application for this. I do believe this is spot zoning, and so I will not be supporting this recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you.
Other commissioners? Commissioner Lee?
So I guess
Speak loud.
the main thing that stands out to me is that this is smack dab in a residential and shoreline area. I don't believe it fits to change it. I think it needs to stay the way it is right now. It's residential zoning. So I also understand the concerns of the water runoff. I think the thing that people have forgotten is that it also, as it seeps into the ground, it can go 360, and it could actually reach the river from where it's at too, if it was to become a gas station. many uses for commercial property. That's the one that was spoken of, so I just want to add that point to it. Yeah, I'm not in favor of it.
Mr. Lumpkey, anything else?
The only thing I'd add is, we do believe in individual people's property rights. And Mr. Ardwick has had this property for 27 years as residential, he bought it as residential. And I think it needs to stay residential. I think maybe the county should have maybe looked at it a little more because we are doing a lot of roundabouts, and that roundabout in that intersection, I don't know what that's going to require. I don't think our engineers have even a preliminary plan yet for what that roundabout looks like. But I'm going to vote on this.
So I have a couple concerns myself here on questions number 4 and 5 on the finding of facts sheet that we have. And so my concern was this. The number 4 question says, will the reclassification be detrimental to uses or property in the immediate vicinity of the subject property? And I don't know how the planning board came up with it, but when I look at their answer that's on this sheet, it doesn't address whether it's going to be detrimental or not detrimental. It doesn't address that specifically. It tells me what the properties are classified around it, but it doesn't address the question. And that's one of my concerns, is that we be very succinct in what we say, how we answer some of these questions. Question number 5 says, does the reclassification promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the public? Again, it talks only about the classification of properties around it. It does not address the question. And therefore, I have questions about whether or not this was properly vetted out, in my opinion. And with that, I would look for a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to deny the rezoning.
I have a motion to deny. Second by Commissioner Corey. Roll call. Excuse me.
Can I just make one comment, Mr. Chair? So what I'm hearing is up for the denial. And so with that request, you're rejecting the findings that are in the packet that were put together by the Planning Commission. And you've given the findings. I just want to summarize those quick so that we have that on the record as to, and make sure what I heard is what you wanted me to hear. So I get that. So what I heard you say was that we have a revised comp plan from August of 2024 with the featured land use map, and there was no plan for commercial zoning when that plan was adopted. You are considering this to be spot zoning. This should remain in a residential use because it is located in a residential shown area surrounded by those typical uses. The concerns over potential commercial uses down the road, whatever could come on as far as generating impervious and petroleum contaminants going to Gilbert. This could potential lower property values in the area. You have concerns about traffic generation. And I think that's kind of what, is there anything else that's
Future, it's already on the promise for the roundabout.
Roundabout, okay. Because I'll put this together into a finding of fact and get that over to the county administrator's office, so it'll complete the file for this.
So you have everything you need.
I think I have everything I need. Yep.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine,
Aye.
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Barrows.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you very much. I will say this, I've never seen this many people from the FAD come to one of our meetings, so thank you very much. All right, move on to number 8.3.
Yeah. Don't have to explain the negatives.
Like that.
Better than
All right, Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next request is for a land use map amendment for parcel number 902-00500 located in section 20 of St. Matthias Township. The request is to amend the land use map from agricultural forestry to rural residential 10 involving approximately 40 acres. Can we go down to the zoning map? There we go. So again, as I mentioned, this is in St. Matthias Township. We good? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sorry.
Get it there.
So it's, you've got South Pouring Road here, we have 20th Street, 5th Avenue, 122. And the request is that you can see the blue here is the 5-acre zoning here. It's this parcel here is currently zoned as the agricultural forestry right now, which has a minimum lot size of 35 acres. And what they're requesting to do is to change that to the R10. Though R5 is in the area, he would look only to create 10-acre lots with that request. The Planning Commission did hold a public hearing on this on December 18th and made a recommendation to the board to approve the land use map amendment for parcel number 902-00500 from agricultural forestry to rural residential 10 involving approximately 40 acres. The Planning Commission did develop the finding of fact found on pages 137, 138 for your consideration as well. Based on the application submitted, staff packet, comments, and the finding of fact recommended by the Planning Commission, Board of Adjustment to approve the land use map as submitted. If you have to answer any questions, we did not get any comments from the township on this request. No township.
Question?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I would move the adoption of the land use map amendment for the Jeffrey and Julia DeRozier request.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Coring, second by Commissioner Franzine.
I just had a question. The blue, is the blue 5-acre?
Yes.
And they're looking at taking it and going just 10 acres in there.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to have that clear.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Barros.
Aye, that motion passes. Thank you very much. We'll move on to 8.4. Gary and Raymond Zavilla.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next request is for the preliminary plat of Turtle Bay for parcel number 77010540, which is located in section 1 of Mission Township. The request is to approve a conventional design preliminary plat consisting of 2 lots. The total size of the parcel before subdividing is approximately 5.5 acres. The plat is located on Adney Lake, which is classified general development. If you go to the map on page 142, let's go up to this. Yep, let's go to the survey there. So what they're proposing to do, you've got Adney Lake Road here. This is lot 1 here, in this area here, and this will be lot 2 to be serviced by this Turtle Bay Trail. Will be the access to get to both lots. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on this and made a recommendation to the board to approve the preliminary plat of Turtle Bay. The Planning Commission did develop a finding of fact on page 151 and 152 of the packet. Based on the application submitted, staff packet, public comments, and the finding of fact, it is recommended to approve the land use map amendment as submitted. The plat does meet all the ordinance requirements for lot size, lot width, 2 septic sites. Just wanted to make a note that Mission Township has adopted an ordinance regulating subdivisions as well. And so there's a concurrent approval process with Mission Township. So in the packet, there's a resolution from Mission Township dated December 8th approving the plat as well. And that resolution information for the township is on page 153 to 156 of the packet.
Questions? Question, I would look for a motion to approve. Commissioner Lee makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Lubke makes a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lee.
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Barros.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you, Chris. We move on to 8.5, land use amendment, ordinance amendment.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for that. Just want to give a quick summary of the process as to where we have been on this and where we're at today. So an amendment to the ordinance was initiated at a committee of the whole meeting on October 21st of 2025, and the board authorized a 30-day comment period that went from October 21st to November 21st. During that comment period, we received a total of 9 comments, and they are included in the packet. A letter was received from the DNR providing conditional approval of the ordinance for the shoreline related items. We also have information from the MPCA related to the septic ordinance items that we needed to update, which was a lion's share of the changes on this. As I mentioned at the committee of the whole meeting last week, we added it based on after we put the ordinance out for comment. The MPCA did come back and gave us 5 additional basically administrative changes for clarity for some things that we just needed to have to meet the minimum requirements of their model ordinance that they have. Also wanted to point out that we also had to make a change to Article 15 to make sure that we're referencing the correct statute. This is related to commercial cannabis use. So the Planning Commission did hold a public hearing on December 18th, and they made a recommendation to the county board to approve the ordinance as submitted, with a couple recommendations that they wanted the board to consider. One was when you look at Article 11.20 about the section referring to buffering requirements for certain types of permits. They wanted to use the term no maintenance buffer instead of a vegetated buffer, as we have a definition for that in the ordinance. That was their one recommendation. They did support the idea of the shoreline buffer requirements for permits that require shoreline recreation use area and that beach area, as we've discussed. They did recognize that the buffer width for a recreational development and general development might be a little bit much for 25 feet. And so based on that conversation and from the staff recommendation, if with going with the buffering requirements for those, I'd recommend going with the 10-foot for a general development and for recreational development lakes, and maintain that 25-foot on the natural environment lakes. And I think that would accomplish what we're hoping to do, which is try to get more vegetation on our shorelines, which we think will help with water quality in the long run for Crow County.
Questions?
So, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
So just so I understand, I was opposed to this 25 foot. So you're adjusting it right now. You're recommending, after consultation, you're recommending going down to 10, right?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly.
Okay. I can support, I was going to vote no on this whole package, but now that you've adjusted that, I will be voting for this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Lumpy.
Just clarification on that 1128B, as there was testimony in there in regards to natural environment lakes to leave them alone. Are we changing natural environment lakes? Because according to what you were putting in here, you were putting natural environment lakes under the same thing as general development, recreational development lakes.
Correct. And so if I could just clarify, that standard are for lakes, or for properties on lakes for that are basically never been altered. It's a lot that's completely vegetated. There's no structures on it. It's never been built on. For right now, the way we have it set up for our GD and our RD lakes, we protect shore impact zone 1, which is half of the setback. So for a GD lake, that would be 37.5 feet. For recreation, that would be 50 feet. And for natural environment, 25 feet, because we have a separate standard for general development for natural environment lakes.
But this change you're looking at doing, is it going to change how we look at natural environment lakes?
It's going to strengthen,
Strengthen it by going to a 10-foot, or you're not going to a 10?
So think about the 10-25 recommendation are for lots that have been completely developed. They've been that way for many years. They've got a situation they've mown.
NEs or what type of like? And NEs.
Correct.
So you are putting it on NEs.
Correct. Absolutely. So that 25-foot. But I think the benefit to this is that if somebody comes in today and they've got a piece of property that has never been built on, and they've got trees right down to the water's edge, with our current ordinance, you'd only need to maintain 25 feet of that. With this change, you need to maintain 75 feet of that, because that's the shore impact zone for natural environment. So this is going to strengthen those lots that have never been built on, and we're still going to have that 25-foot buffer for those lots that have been built on. They don't have that buffer in place if they apply for a permit. Only a permit will trigger that the 25-foot buffer on the natural environment if they wanted to get a permit.
And one of the other things that was in here that was brought up at that meeting was when you talk about the word vegetation, you also talk about no maintenance. No maintenance could be a set of hostas all the way down to the lake.
Yeah, and again, so to differentiate, so the no maintenance is a situation where they've been mowing grass down the water's edge for 50 years. And it's an improvement in that situation to say, we just would like you to stop mowing down there and get some native vegetation by your shoreline. The other situation, somebody's got a lot that's never been cleared, never been touched. That's going to be the requirements of trees and shrubs, and you can be limited clearing. You can't. That's so it clarifies. This will help clarify the requirements for what you can do in a natural environment lake that hasn't been disturbed and built on versus one that has. So this strengthens. This proposal will strengthen that part of the ordinance.
Still have a question. I mean, I still have a thing in my head that says that we're not, I mean, the natural environment lakes that we have in the area are the pristine ones that are there that haven't been touched. Right. And by changing that standard, you know, we can't do much with the general development RD lakes that are already done. Some of those were done long before we've had ordinances in place. To look at changing the natural environment lakes and backing them up, and right now, I still haven't got it in my head yet that we're not backing up on natural environment lakes and reaffirming the fact that they are pristine general. Am I not catching something that?
I tried to put a really rough drawing together.
You're gonna do a map for me?
So this top piece is our vegetated properties that have never been disturbed. That's our current ordinance the way it would be right now. Somebody came in and said, I want to get a permit to build on this. If you're a general development lake, we would protect the first 37.5 feet away from the lake. If you're a recreational development lake, we protect the first 50 feet away from the lakes. If you're a natural environment lake, we prefer the 25. They don't be required to protect 25 feet on natural environment. If we change the ordinance that's been proposed, that's the second drawing, which is really high tech. I mean, I really get it. I did it sitting in the audience as I was trying to figure this out. To present pictures. So on general development, again, 37.5, recreational development 50, natural environment 75 feet. So we're protecting, instead of 25 feet, we're protecting 75 feet. And then if we go down to existing, where it's like you said, it's been there for pre-ordinance, it's been there for 50 years. On the GD Lake and the RD Lake, we're going to ask them to stop mowing 10 feet away from the back of the lake. On natural environment lake, though, we're going to say 25 feet. So that accomplishes both of the, I think, of the issue.
The word no maintenance and what's, you know, natural shoreline wouldn't have down to the shoreline because no maintenance means you don't have to maintain.
No maintenance doesn't apply to this. Doesn't apply to the currently vegetated with the trees. Does not apply to that. It only applies in situations where all the trees have been removed. Everything has been done, and it was a legal nonconformity. It wasn't done. If it was done illegally, these standards would apply. We would make them restored. We talked about at the meeting last week, right? What this is saying is that they've already got everything removed now. They want to do some work on their shoreline. This would say, stop mowing the vegetation back 25 feet. I've talked with the DNR staff about this. They're pretty excited. They think this is going to be a massive improvement over what we have.
I mean, we still allow the person to have their area that they can access. What is it, 25%? Is it 20? What is
30%?
30%. Yeah, if they got a 100-foot lot, they have a 30-foot slot. They can get down the lake.
And the remaining 70%, now we're saying 25 feet back, just on the natural environment lakes, be 25, GDRD would be 10 feet.
So I'm sure, but that's, I cannot be sure on that. I'm just worried that the fact that we're going to degrade our natural environment lakes, because it's about the only thing we got left that have things done with it, we can't bring it back. And you're
Mr.
saying.
Chairman?
Just a minute, go ahead. No, that's okay, Paul can speak.
Motion to adopt the 8.5 land use ordinance amendment.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Corrish to approve land use ordinance amendment, and I have a second by Commissioner Franzine. Commissioner,
And I do this for just a second, only because I've got questions on this. Chris, you and I have talked about this. I just want it explained in my terms.
Yep.
Okay. So a person has 100 feet of shoreline for this system, they have 100 feet of shoreline, allowed 30 feet,
Correct.
30%, correct? Okay. And the 10 feet we're talking about is from the shoreline towards the road or the house, correct? Correct. Okay. And then anything that's currently already been permitted is all grandfathered in, nothing changes with anything anywhere else.
Correct. Correct.
All good?
Roll call.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Lupke,
No.
Commissioner Barros.
Aye, that motion passes. Thank you very much. Chair. Transportation Services Agreement. Remember, it's the only time you get to yell, so.
No, it's not.
No,
Maybe I do. But today we bring in front of you request for approval to move forward with a new traffic-based service for our medical examiner's office.
One second. We have 9.1, which is.
You're out of order.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Andy, you gotta talk a little louder for me.
Okay,
So
I was confused about when I saw the two lines on there too. Didn't know what you were talking about because quite honestly, this is a transportation service agreement for the medical examiner's office. So this is our transportation service for them. I don't know why there's two.
The first one is showing as with Reigert bus service for transportation of an inmate in the event of an evacuation from the Crow Wing County Jail.
Yes, Clay for to be here on that one. I can call Clay on that one. I'm not sure.
Because we have that one as Troy and Ron as presenting.
Why don't you come on up and talk about that? That's 9.1, correct?
9.1.
That is 9.1.
Sorry about that miscommunication. I didn't understand what that was. To me, it meant the same thing. I couldn't see I tried to pull up your agenda to see the packet and it wasn't showing up online.
Gotcha.
I couldn't see that. In regards to the bus transport for emergency situations where we have to evacuate the jail, we're looking at bringing those inmates to Ripley, correct? And that was the purpose of that agreement with Reigert Bus Service to utilize them in case of an emergency where we have to bring our inmates to another facility while our building needs to be evacuated.
We have had verbal agreements with Reichert for many years. Part of the COOP plan that Clayton Bart has been working on is getting this in writing so that if leadership changes or something happens, we have an actual contract.
So the contract, and there's a cost that goes with that, correct?
There is a cost if the service is used. We're not paying a retainer or there's only cost if we use the service.
Okay, and is this agreement then increasing that if we use that service or how?
Well, right now, we would just be at the whim of whatever they want to charge us because we don't have an agreement. Right. So they would say, yep, we have the buses, we could be there at this time, and they would just charge us. This just locks in what that rate would be.
Right.
Was there?
Mr. Chair.
I have not seen the agreement personally.
The facility on the agreement listed here under 3.1, the facility agrees to pay contractor at the rate of $90 per hour with a $590 minimum.
Okay, so we do have a rate up there.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions? Commissioner Lee?
Just one. How long is this agreement?
I thought it was a 3 or 2.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Coring?
should we have this come up at the next county board meeting? It seems like unprepared for this one.
It just doesn't have an end date on it.
Yeah, I don't see one.
4.1, I think it says for 2 years.
There it is, 4.1 terms.
Thank you.
2-year.
Okay.
Motion by Commissioner Lupke to approve. I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Lee. Roll call.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Barrows.
Aye. Thank you very much. Now we'll get to nine.
I appreciate that. So back to what I originally was speaking about in regards to the medical examiner's transport services. As you well aware, this year, the contractor that we currently work with had retired and sold his business off to a vendor. That contract ended. We have a stopgap to get us till January 1. So we sent out RFPs and I asked my office lieutenant, Craig Kassenberg, to head up that RFP process. He can fill you in what we discovered and the direction we'd like to go.
So RFP went out on 11/13 and it closed on 12/12. We received 2 proposals. We received a proposal from Klein Transport, which who we are currently using. And we also received a proposal from Harding Helpers. We evaluated on qualification and experience, quality and reliability of proposed services, per transport fee, or overall cost effectiveness, references and performance history, compliance with insurance, legal, and ethical standards. Evaluation results. Following evaluation process, Klein Transport received the highest overall score. Klein Transport scored particularly strong in the areas qualifications, experience, quality and reliability of service, and reference performance history. As the current provider of medical examiner transport services for Crow Wing County, Klein Transport has demonstrated consistent, reliable performance, familiarity with county procedures, and effective coordination with law enforcement and medical examiner staff. Their established service history reduced operational risk and provided continuity of service. While both proposals met requirements of the RFP, it was determined that Klein Transport's demonstrated performance, reliability, and experience that provided the best overall value to Crow Wing County, considering all evaluation criteria collectively. Cost consideration. Sheriff's Office reviewed the proposed per transport fees as part of the overall cost effectiveness criterion. While cost was an important consideration, it was evaluated in relation to service quality, reliability, and performance history. Klein Transport's proposed pricing was determined to be reasonable and suitable given their proven ability to deliver consistent and reliable services. Based on the evaluation results and the criteria outlined in the RFP, the Crow Wing County recommends awarding the medical examiner transport service contract to Klein Transport as the vendor providing the best overall value to Crow Wing County.
Questions?
Yes,
Mr. Franzine.
I would like to know what the transport fee was. You mentioned it, but you don't.
Yes, so what was proposed by Klein Transport was $800, and it has been that price for at least the last 10 years. It has not changed. And the proposed by Harding Helpers was $750 per transport.
Other questions?
Question.
Commissioner Lee.
On average, how many times do they get used here?
On average per year. Right now, we're at 58 transports. That is not including December. So around probably 65 would probably be the estimate per year.
There's no other questions or concerns. I would ask for a motion.
I will make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Lupke makes the motion to approve.
You'd have something in place.
Second by Commissioner Lee. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Barrows.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And did you have any additional questions for the sheriff or myself?
Probably the last couple of days.
That was bad. That's surprising.
Really?
Yeah, we're not right.
Hopefully you have a lot of room in the jail for coming up New Year's or not?
We do. We still do.
Are you starting to check the ice depth for the extravaganza?
I have not. I don't know if Brad has been out recently. It's not.
The sheriff needs to be out there for that.
Oh, yes. I'll tell him you said that.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll hear it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 10, Human Services. Amy, welcome.
Human Resources. not human services.
Human services, HR. HR.
Labor agreement.
Excuse me. Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Excuse my voice today. I'll try to be loud, but it's not always easy. I'm here today to look for authorization to enter into a labor agreement with AFSCME. AFSCME is our union that covers approximately 89 employees and covers multiple departments, including administrative services, which is IT, extension, and finance, our land services department, county attorney's office, the sheriff's office records, and the jail admin team, and then the highway department as well. The agreement continues with our market aligned pay plan to ensure we continue to pay market competitive wages with range increases each year. And that's the minimum and maximum and how that moves on that. It provides a general adjustment as well as a meeting expectations increase and advancing Crow Wing County incentive pay as well. The AFSCME group is on the county insurance plans as well with that. The key recognition in our agreement with AFSCME for this contract period is moving the clothing allowance from an annual payment to a monthly payment. That helps the employees have the money each month if they needed to replace some clothing, as well as administratively makes it easier on our payroll department to administer as well. We also have the Minnesota paid leave language in the contract. This is the new paid leave that we are required by state statute to provide to employees. And we did get the 50-50 premium split, allowing employees to use PTO to remain whole as they aren't paid 100% through the paid leave. So they can use PTO to get up to that 100% but cannot exceed it. It will run concurrently with other leaves such as FMLA and parenting leave. And we are also removing the short-term disability benefits and making that a voluntary benefit for employees that would benefit from having that short-term disability. The probationary period, we're going to have the ability to extend it by 3 months twice, offering the deferred comp match and incorporate MOU into the contract. Our lead worker MOU has been an ongoing MOU year after year. And so instead of continuing it as an MOU, we'll be incorporating it directly into the contract and just continued language cleanup. And then it is a 3-year contract. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions?
With no questions, I'm looking to authorization to enter into a labor agreement between Crow Wing County and AFSCME, local union number 689A, effective January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. And the chair, HR manager, and county administrator are authorized to sign said agreements.
I would look for a motion to approve. So moved. Motion by Commissioner Lupke. Second by Commissioner Lee.
Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Lupke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Barros.
Aye, that motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice job. County attorney.
Good morning, Commissioners. The top is unable to be here today, but I am more than happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you for being here and clarifying that open meeting law so that we could move forward with this meeting. So thank you very much.
No problem.
If nothing else, we'll move on to the county administrator.
Mr. Chair, I have 2 for you today. First will be citizen committee appointments. So in your packet, we have this listing, and the parties highlighted in yellow have come up for reappointment and have wished to be reappointed to their positions. And that's just an appointment by you.
Make those appointments.
Okay.
I also would like to, Mr. Hickstead has said he does not want to continue on the NRAC committee. And so I will appoint Kevin Yeager to that one.
Okay. I will make note of that and get him added.
We should have on our next agenda also the 2 appointees to the airport commission will be up. I know I've talked to Neil Ratney. He's willing to continue to serve if the board, because that's a board decision, like to reappoint him. And Who? Oh, Gerald Palmer is the other one. So I have not spoken with him.
Okay, so we're,
That meeting, I'd like to have both those on there because we have our first commission meeting 2 days later.
sounds good.
I'd like to have them on that,
Okay,
people can be on that, in that.
sounds good. I will make note of that and wait for word on Mr. Palmer. And then the second does require board action. This will be appointments to the Serpent Lake Sanitary Sewer District Board of Directors. Both Michael Workman of Cuyuna and Eric Hegland of Ironton were voted in by that district for their cities, and we just have to confirm that, or you just have to confirm that.
So we need a motion from the board.
Yep.
Commissioner Lee makes a motion to approve. I'll second that. Second by Commissioner Lubke. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Barrows.
Aye. That motion passes.
That's all I have for you today.
Additional business? Any additional business from anybody? Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you very much for your patience today. All the other people left, I couldn't thank them, but thank you for hanging in with us.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Motion by Commissioner Franzine, second by Commissioner Lubke. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Franzine, Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Lubke, Commissioner Barrows.
Aye.
10.